flashing eh. Nangyari sa Robert Lopez Mendy, no? Ba't di na siya naglalaro?
FC-Iloilo and Maharlika Manila FC.
If there is any question as to which club is heavily favored to win the league title so far this season, Kaya FC Iloilo showed just why they are worthy of that title favorite label, that title contender label as early as now. Last week they had a masterful 6-1 beating of Mendiola FC 1991, and now they will look to pounce on that momentum and continue that winning run against Maharlika Manila FC. That is our match at hand. Mabuhay Pilipinas, and welcome to the historic Rizal Memorial Football Stadium as we continue the Philippines Football League 2022 season, brought to us by Qatar Airways. It's Levi Verora on the call alongside Mr. Ryan Phoenix. And Ryan, obviously contrasting starts to the respective seasons, campaigns of Kaya FC Iloilo and Maharlika Manila FC. What do we expect in a match like this where everything seems to be going right for Kaya, but for Maharlika it's been that tough grind so far?
Well, that's the beauty of football, Levi. It's top versus bottom almost. Kaya FC, of course, leading the league with 3 wins out of 3 as we look at their starting lineup.
Yes, starting for Kaya FC Iloilo, they've made some changes here, starting with, of course, the goalkeeper. It's going to be Zach Banson replacing the spot of Quincy Camerad alongside Patrick Arthur, who's also stepped up. And that will be the starters. As well as for Maharlika Manila FC, even bigger changes for them. 6 players who didn't start or saw action the last time out will now be part of their starting lineup, and Coach Jonggil Kim obviously just wants to build more confidence for the new guys.
Well, Maharlika Manila in an uphill task facing them today. The players wearing black today. Ang kalaban nila, the mighty Kaya, who, as we said, winning 3 out of the last 3 games. At meron silang goal differential of +9. Samantalang ang Maharlika Manila losing their first 3 games with a -10 GD. And on paper, it looks to be a great mismatch, Levi. Pero alam mo, ang larong football, nilalaro yan sa football field.
Obviously, games are never played on paper, and that is why in just a few moments, we are ready for kickoff here inside Rizal Memorial. The referee is Clifford Daipuyat. And again, Kaya FC, 9 points, 3 wins across their name so far. And here we go. Kaya FC playing from left to right as we start the first half. And again, the changes in the starting unit for both sides. But for Kaya, it focuses more on the midfield as they've had Patrick Arthur and also Carlisle Mitchell doon sa depensa ng Kaya will look to make an impact early on.
Zach Banson as well, making his first appearance in the league. He is starting in goal. He is Kaya's number 1.
And no stranger, of course, to stopping the ball is Zach Banson. Early action here. It's Maharlika Manila FC in their attacking third. That is Sims. And Baguio, the ball sails out. Throw in for Kaya.
And one person who's making another start, first start as well for Kaya, si Patrick Arthur, wearing jersey number 4. Magandang ginawa ni Coach Yoshide. Medyo binalasan niya ng konti yung lineup ng Kaya. Of course, playing minutes to those na hindi nakalaro in the first 3 games, as well as just giving opportunities as well. Kasi iba rin kasi yung mga naglalaro sa bench. So they want to prove themselves, and this is an opportunity for them to show what they can do.
And speaking of bench players, the super sub, Janjan Meliza, he was the one responsible last week for that 6-1 scoreline, scoring in the stoppage time of the second half to make it 6-1.
He is here in your screens, the thick of the action, wearing jersey number 13, si Janjan Meliza. And if you look at the Kaya roster, napakalalim talaga, no, from top to bottom, and even on the bench, they seem to have a lot of options. And can this be the year, Levi, na manalo ang Kaya sa Liga?
Absolutely. They've always been there as contenders, although, of course, the mighty United City FC and back then Ceres Negros always in their way. But so far, again, they are on the top of the league table in the first round. It's going to be a long season, obviously. So the consistency factor as well, Ryan, as early as now, they want all their players to get a taste of the action and get that feel of how to be just focused inside the field. Someone is down. Play on, says the referee, Maharlika, and it is cleared for safety by Kaya. Possession is tracked down. This is Lawrence Baguio. Tries his best to keep the ball in play, but not for long.
Well, if Kaya think that this is gonna be a walk in the park, pinaalala ni Captain David Basa ng Maharlika na hindi ito walk over lang, no? You have to earn the points, you have to earn the victory. A crunching tackle from David Basa to dispossess the Kaya player in the previous action.
Throw in here for Kaya FC-Iloilo. And talking about Maharlika Manila FC, they're very eager in the young season. In fact, they had this dream start as we see a run for Kaya FC operating from the right flank, but the Maharlika defense does enough. Pero walang follow-up, Ryan, doon sa intended counter-attack.
Not too sure kung anong gustong gawin doon, ano? That time around, there was no one near the ball nor the intended passage of that pass.
Michael Sims and Isaac Esel might have had a miscommunication that time around.
But one thing about Kaya, at makikita natin mamaya-maya yun, is that their fullbacks are really pushing forward at giving another dimension doon sa atake ng yellow shirts ngayon.
The playmaking for Kaya FC, that was one of the strong points, lalo na last week during that 6-1 beating of Mindiola FC. Let's see who will get to that ball first, and doing enough once again is Alimar Job Ambong to bother yun sanang fine run from the left side.
It's Harvey Gayoso, and you see the speed of Harvey Gayoso. Nakita mo paano niya hinabol yung bola, and he was the first to the ball as well. Not too sure about the final decision making that time around. It's gonna always be a tough angle to shoot from that area.
As we are entering the 6th minute of our first half. Usually sa start ng laro talaga, Ryan, it's more kapaan ng konti, but of course you have your system in place, so it just goes with time. And Kaya FC right now, more players have gone up to their attacking third. Mitchell. Baguio, again, very active defensively. They will swing it over doon naman sa kabila. Felonco, that is. Possession will stay with Kaya. Maharlika Manila FC very eager. They had that strong start sa kanilang pinakaunang laro against Stallion Laguna FC. It was Spencer Galaza responsible for that opening goal. Sayang lang, it was a better response by Stallion Laguna to take that 2-1 victory. Arboleda, the through ball. Meliza is inside the box. And Michael Menzi with the deflection. And first corner of the match for Kaya FC-Iloilo. The yellow shirts will scatter inside the box. It is Melisa, I believe, who will take this. The header.
That was from Daiso Horikoshi. And a good delivery from Melisa. Daiso, alam mo, not the tallest of players, but he rose the tallest at that time around.
He got the touch in that particular instance. It just ricocheted off the defender. So credit to Maharlika Manila FC. The black shirts were there to, again, disrupt.
Daiso Horikoshi so far leading the league with 3 assists. Siya rin ang leading goal scorer ng Kaya with 3 goals. But don't let that fool you because napakaraming goal scorers ng Kaya. As a matter of fact, they have 5 different goal scorers.
5 different players who have found the back of the net so far. In just 3 matches, we have, again, Daiso, Harvey Gayoso, Eric Giganto, the captain, Jovin Bedic, and Janjan Melisa, of course, the super sub from the last timeout.
And you expect all those names na binanggit mo to score today and possibly even those who you did not mention. But of course, standing in their way, Maharlika Manila again. In the standings, nakita mo, they're down there, second from bottom. But so far, so good. 8 minutes, they're holding strong, holding the favored Kaya scoreless so far.
And speaking of which, last week against the Ascal's development team, it was the same story. About 20 minutes, it was 0-0. They were right there, and then when the gates opened for the Ascal's development team, medyo umalagwa towards the end. As we see a run here for Kaya. It is onside, and the goalkeeper, first piece of action for him. That is, of course, Zaldi Abraham, who has taken the spot of Joaquin Valdez. Joaquin Valdez is not playing this afternoon.
But Levi, so far so good for Maharlika. They're taking the game to Kaya and not at all playing the low block. Usually when you see like teams who are not doing very well in the league table, they just sit back and defend, but not Maharlika so far. And they are trying to take their chances as well against the yellow shirts.
And what was interesting about that match against the Ascal's development team, Maharlika Manila FC actually had more corners, 5-4. Although it's not an alarming disparity, it just goes to show that they also make their attacks. It's just a matter of really the build-up and the finish. As possession will go Kaya's way. And now controlled by Maharlika Manila FC. Not sure what they were trying to do there, but Villaflor, medyo minadali ata doon, Ryan. And now, the counter for Kaya. Okay, they have from the left flank, and now the cross inside the box. Menzi was there. Deflected at the last minute by the defenders. That was Harvey Gayoso. David Basa, mauunahan. And they will send it over to Zach Banson first. This is where it starts, Ryan, when you have those opportunities inside the box. And here it is, another one to Melisa. Not the finest of touches doon. Not enough to really challenge Zaldi Abraham.
That was a good layoff. As you said, not the strongest as well of finishes from Janjan Melisa, but end-to-end stuff we're seeing here from both these teams.
And as we talked about just moments earlier, once Kaya gets on the offensive, eto na, that's the problem for opposing teams. Usually they start to get rattled, and that's where the defense kind of opens up the opportunities for the men in yellow.
But so far, Maharlika not afraid to press and go forward. As you can see here, dalawang tao na kumukuha ng bola kay Mitchell.
Carlisle Mitchell. That time it was Michael Sims and Isel trying to put pressure.
This is something surprising, and I think a lot of fans will have been surprised na medyo mataas ang pressure na pinapakita ng Maharlika Manila.
Exactly.
And even David Basa, not probably the quickest of players for Maharlika, is just up there. Not too sure about the strategy, but so far it's working for the Men in Black.
Arboleda gives it up. They will have to rush to that ball. A bit of touch, play on. And the challenge made by Ambong. It's going to be a busy afternoon for number 3, Job Ambong, talking about the Maharlika side.
Wide open game we're seeing here, Levi.
Arboleda, and again, inside the box. The shot on goal, not collected, and there it is. Javi Galloso with the opening goal.
Right place, right time once again for Harvey Galloso. Daiso with a quick snapshot. A strong one spilled by the keeper. And you don't make those kinds of mistakes in front of Harvey Galloso. He will make you pay.
On the rebound is Harvey Galloso. We'll see that again. It wasn't collected. Well, credit on the initial attempt as well. Enough power. And there was nothing much Zaldi Abraham could do that time, as Kaya is now ahead 1-0 in the 14th minute.
And as I was about to say, itong ginagawa ng Maharlika, very high defensive line, means that they will leave a lot of holes sa likod nila. And that was what Kaya exploited to the hilt. Napakaraming butas, napakaraming chances for them to shoot. And a critical error made by the keeper na si Zaldi Abraham means that it's gonna be 1-0 for Kaya. Harvey Galloso will make no mistake from that kind of range.
Parang practice shots na lang yun for Harvey Galloso. And that's the counterpoint by Yu Hoshide. He said during the pre-game, as we see across here for Kaya, Arboleda is right there, uncontested really in the right flank. And fortunately for Maharlika Manila FC, nobody home. But yeah, going back to our point, Yu Hoshide, the head coach of Kaya FC, obviously, that's the point he made before. We were talking to him prior to kickoff. He said that once they lose possession, matik na raw, they will have to go down on defense. He doesn't want his players running 10 meters or 20 meters to try and counter yung nangyari. And a through ball, but Abraham will be there to collect. 15 minutes have gone by in the first half. Kaya FC-Iloilo and Maharlika Manila FC live from our Philippines Football League Facebook page. The 2022 season brought to us by Qatar Airways. It's 1-0, Ryan, so far.
Yung previous game ng Kaya, they were up against Mendiola. At a similar fashion, they were also trying to get the early goal from the get-go. Ang nangyari noon, Mendiola with a quick counter-attack, and they scored and left Kaya a bit frustrated because they had a lot of possession. But this time around, Kaya making no mistake.
And Kaya continues to put pressure on the defense. Abraham once again fumbling, but good thing there was a black shirt there sa kanilang last line of defense. You talked about Mendiola FC surprisingly scoring the opening goal the last time out. It was Aaron Altiche. Not surprising anymore. He's been doing that even in the past seasons. Although from that match, we saw dun sa body language, dun sa facial expression ng Kaya, parang wala lang, being down 1-0. That time around, Abraham will collect.
He looks to be the busier of the two keepers. Itong si Zaldi Abraham.
Absolutely. And Zach Banzon obviously will shout instructions to the defenders from where he's at.
And actually, magandang strategy yung ginagawa ng Kaya because if you can see from the screens, kakaulan lang, bahagya dito sa Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. So yung bola, medyo madulas man ng konti. And if the keeper, as you saw kanina, unable to keep hold of the ball, it may lead to loose balls. Pwedeng i-reboundan, pwedeng skoran ng Kaya.
And obviously, you have to play with what's in front of you and the conditions you're given. Can't really complain about that. They send it over to Arboleda. Baguio. Active defensively. Mitchell sizing up this defense. Arboleda. Baguio was there. Now two shirts defending. Oh, here is a run. Gayoso sends it to the opposite side. And too many black shirts na for Maharlika Manila FC. Making sure no trouble that time.
That should be an infringement. Talaga binalibag lang si Carl Mitchell.
That is, of course, Isaac Essel. The only foreign player so far for the Maharlika Manila FC side doon sa pitch. That was something John Gil Kim, their head coach, was trying to actively point out when we were talking to him earlier. He wanted to give the other guys an opportunity to see action. Arboleda again defended by Sims this time around. Still with Arboleda, and that will go wide.
A good study itong si Fitch Arboleda, the way he moves with and without the ball. This time he was cutting inside, and it was worth a shot with his left foot when he was cutting inside. Fitch Arboleda, the way he stretches to the defense because of his very wide positioning is something I think they've worked on. Tong Kaya FC gives Kaya another dimension to their attack.
And again, one of the strong points for Kaya from that win in Rizal Memorial also last week against Mendiola FC 1991 is how they just seamlessly connected from the final third to the midfield and to the attacking third to create those opportunities. And here they are once again. The cross, Baguio. Arboleda. The lob inside the box. Good defending by Ambong. Rotas, come forward. They will try to reorganize. Meliza. Through ball to Kekkonen.
Well, good timing from Oscar Kekkonen just to keep himself onside. You can see the moving parts of Kaya, whether it's Kekkonen or it's Harvey on the right wing. They always pose a threat.
20 minutes have gone by. Kekkonen, he is onside. And okay, the referee has blown his whistle. 20 minutes have gone by. Kaya FC-Iloilo so far dominating the possessions department. 70% of the time they have control of the ball.
Well, a foul on the Maharlika keeper from Daizo Horikoshi gives Maharlika konting breathing space. But as I say that, balik na naman sa Kaya ang bola.
SL kind of stopped going for the ball after, I believe it was Rota. Medyo nahawakan siya sa leg. He didn't appreciate it, but of course you have to play on until there is no whistle from the referee. Arboleda, hahabol ang depensa ng Maharlika.
It's a man down for Kaya. I think it's the captain, but not before he gave a good pass to Fitch Arboleda. Again, cutting inside, using his left foot.
A man down as well for Maharlika Manila FC there inside the box. And the keeper, Abraham, is assisting.
Si Jovin Bedic.
It's Jovin Bedic, and a bit shaken up here as he gets back on his feet.
Pero nagbigay muna siya ng magandang pasa, no? Before he finally succumbed, I think, to something in his eye. Pero that is what Jovin Bedic does. Sanay tayo makita. Long-time fans of Kaya will know that Bedic plays up top. Pero he can also play in the midfield and giving those passes. Maganda rin yung kanyang field vision.
Yung distribution ni Bedic also a strong point for not just himself but the entire Kaya FC Iloilo side, as it is Joseph Ryan Fermin who is getting some assistance right now.
And you can see from that in this screen ay yung ulan. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang bagsak ng ulan dito sa Rizal Memorial Football Stadium.
Yes, and we won't really describe this as inclement. It's just a steady downpour. Medyo maliwanag pa nga eh. But if you're playing at this hour, it really depends kung ano yung preferred weather mo. But how about you, Ryan, being probably as a player? Would you rather play na tirik ang araw or to medyo chill rain? Although it affects yung bola, yung speed of the ball in the game.
Speed of the ball and yung socks mo ay basang-basa na. But I'd really prefer to play in this sort of weather kaysa yung sobrang init na panahon. But again, of course, this is a matter of personal preference. But I'm sure the goalkeepers would rather have a dry ball to catch.
Absolutely, and especially on the part of Zaldi Abraham, he has been challenged quite a lot so far in the early goings. Inside again, and Michael Menzi falls down.
Collision with Daiso Horikoshi, and their combination play of Kaya clicking. Yung final ball lang, medyo may pagkukulang ng bahagya.
Horikoshi for a while humawak doon sa kanyang kanang braso, but it's really Michael Menzi who's a bit disorganized here. Okay, now he's up on his feet. Encouraging sign. Obviously, we don't want anyone hurt as part of this football community in general. But it will be a corner kick for Kaya FC Iloilo, giving themselves a chance, see if they can work and make the most out of it. Carla Mitchell and Essel nagkikiskisan agad, and Clifford Daipuyat saying, okay, relax. It is taken quickly. Here is the lob inside the box. Collected by Abraham. That was Felonco who headed it as a pass.
You can see Kaya playing a different sort of corner, playing the ball short and giving a different angle for the goalkeeper to work with. Maganda rin yung ganyang klaseng mga set pieces. No? You just mix it up and keep the defense guessing. Hindi lang puro traditional corner in-swinging direct from the corner.
And if you saw the replay, if Mitchell was just maybe a meter or two closer to Felonco, perhaps a connection would have been made. It is still Kaya FC pressuring, really, Maharlika Manila. Oh, look at that pass, Gayoso, and this time it is saved by Abraham.
Well, the ball bubbling in the air. And Gayoso first to the ball that time around. Good touch. Snapshot. But good save this time. Abraham keeping a tight hold of the ball. Alam niya kasi pag nadulas na naman yung bola, disaster might strike again.
As a foul is called on Mitchell. Again, kanina pa yung dalawang yan nagkikiskisan ni Isaac Kwame Esel. So it's going to be a free kick. Maharlika Manila FC, they will take their time. But we saw from that shot on goal ni Gayoso earlier. Just the flick of Daizo. What a pass made to target Gayoso.
Iba talaga nagagawa ni Daizo for their team. But this is Maharlika now.
Baguio will send it inside the box. Basa missed that. Baguio tries to keep it alive, but now it is with Melissa. The through ball to Gayoso, and Abraham has had to come out of the box just to make sure nothing happens there. Arthur. Fitch wants it. He's saying, let's play. Bidik lost control. Arboleda being contested by Basa, and now Maharlika Manila FC. Sims, SL wants it. Mitchell was there.
And this is gonna be very interesting viewing for the next 60 plus minutes, Levi, because itong number 7 na si SL and then si Carlal Mitchell ng Kaya has been going at it, as you said. Kanina pa nagigirian, ano?
Sila yung mag-match up really, and credit to Mitchell stepping up to the plate. Again, he was a substitute the last time out, but now given the opportunity to start for the defense of Kaya. First corner kick, at least in our count, for Maharlika Manila FC. It is Michael Sims, the designated taker. The header goes wide.
Well, it was a free header, Levi. And I thought he should have done better.
Good timing.
And that's a good delivery from the corner kick. And very surprisingly, a free header from Ambong, number 3 ng Maharlika. And anytime you just have that free header, ang request mo lang sa mga players mo, please hit it on target. And that time around, si Ambong unable to do so. But that was a good chance. Half chance from Maharlika.
He was virtually uncontested that time, but obviously, yung pagkakaanggulo lang nung tama dun sa bola, Zach Banson didn't even bother that time around. The tinitigan niya lang, it was obviously wide. Arthur. Now this time they will operate from the left flank. Basa quicker through the ball. He is tackled.
Dispossessed. And David Basa, alam mo, we've seen this player through the years. Parang ngayon ko lang ata siya nakitang naglaro as a central attacking midfielder just behind the striker, David Basa. Just goes to show you the versatility. Of course, David Basa, kasama yan sa 2010 Ascal's team dun sa Miracle in Hanoi as a very young player that time. But, he's gone through the teams. Now he's with Maharlika Manila, wearing the captain's armband today.
He's now a veteran of, obviously, of the sport. And the Miracle of Hanoi, parang kailan lang, but you'll think of it, it's 2022. 12 years have gone by, and football is obviously, ganito na ang football, the Philippine football scene. It has changed ever since that miracle happened.
Snapshot from David Basa in that replay. He'd love to take it back. Hindi man lang tumama sa on target, but you know, the effort is there from the captain ng Maharlika.
Gayoso. That was intended for Gayoso, and Abraham again making the challenge. Gayoso humihingi pa ng corner kick, but goal kick, says our referee.
Harvey Gayoso trying to use his speed.
And for Maharlika Manila FC, again, so far, not much connection being made. Usually just long balls, and they're targeting either SL up front. As there, another unfruitful possession.
Hindi mo rin sure kung ano talaga ang gustong gawin ng Maharlika Manila. They're not really playing very deep and trying to hit the counter. At the same time, they aren't really taking the game to Kaya as well. Seems like they're reacting to the Kaya system.
You said it. It's like wait and see so far for Maharlika Manila FC. Approaching the 32nd minute of the match. Still just 1-0. And we're saying just 1-0 because Kaya FC-Iloilo, a goal difference average of 3 per match. 3 wins in the league table. A 9-goal difference so far for the title contenders. And now the third corner for the home side in this match.
Last time around in this side, Kaya played it short to give a different angle to the defense ng Maharlika. I think they look to do the same. Jan Miliza providing another option there.
And you can just see how active Daizo is communicating para sa mga pagkakataon. Taken quickly, as you said, Ryan. Baguio was again there. Kekkonen. Michael Menzi slides to deflect Baza as well. Too many black shirts. And finally headed to the midfield. Rota. Oh, he has come to the right side. And finally, Maharlika Manila FC will pull the stop.
That was continuous pressure from Kaya off of a corner kick. It was a ball after ball inside the box until finally may handball na tinawag kontra kay Jovin Bedic. Para medyo nakapagpahinga ng konti itong Maharlika. Now what will Maharlika do? Because Kaya now showing some signs of pressure.
Michael Menzi, yes, some of the players have come up, and just like that, Patrick Arthur on the receiving end of that errant pass. Kekkonen.
Well, that is very disappointing, Levi. Yung bola minsan lang napunta sa'yo, and the first pass you give is straight to the Kaya player. If you're Maharlika Manila, you'll be very disappointed.
Mitchell, and intentionally taken down by SL. Obviously, medyo pinikon pa by handing the ball to him while he was lying down.
It's a great tussle between these two fine gentlemen. It's a physical battle there.
And as you saw in the replay, it was really the right arm clinging onto Mitchell.
And I wonder if si Clifford Daipuyat will have a quick word with si SL. Because for my count, at least the second coming together between SL and Carlisle Mitchell.
And now it's Rota. I don't know if he's trying to say something to SL habang magkatapat sila. Opportunity here for Maharlika Manila FC. And again, just the passing, really. And trying to convert something. And again, they opt for the long ball. And just like that, again, possession lost for Maharlika Manila FC. Mitchell will send it to Felonco, and the foul on Spencer Galyasa. Again, the only goal scorer so far for Maharlika Manila FC, that is player number 77, Spencer Galaza. made 1 against Stallion Laguna FC. Felonco will send it straight, but walang problema that time around for Zaldi Abraham.
Well, good run from the left side. Felonco, good cross, and importante para sa keeper na si Abraham to keep that ball, especially with the Kaya player lurking. At ito na naman tayo, another high pressure from Kaya, and immediately they win the ball back, Levi.
Just like that, Melisa, Daizo, and again on the left flank. Pupunta sila kay Melisa. Galaza has had to slide just to prevent any trouble doon pa lang. Now it's with Arboleda against Sims. The through ball. Kekkonen, and collected calmly by Zaldi Abraham. It's been that kind of an afternoon for player number 1, the starting keeper for Maharlika FC.
But Kekkonen with a good attempt that time around. Just trying to test his luck there. But Abraham, again, I think he has realized by now, importante talaga not to give any loose balls to the Kaya players.
And to think that the scoreline so far is just 1-0. Gotta give credit to Abraham as well. But then again, Maharlika Manila FC not making the most out of the small amount of possessions they're being given.
Pagkuha nga nila ng bola, almost immediately they just surrender the ball back to Kaya. And Kaya, of course, will gonna apply pressure, but not that time around. Mitchell with the errant pass.
That has so far been the strategy, at least from our point of view. They secure the possession, perhaps after it goes out, and then they're targeting either SL or Michael Sims. But there's no build-up from the midfield. And again, Arboleda. Galaza gets dispossessed. Arthur.
Maharlika can't string 2 passes together. And it's like, pag nakuha ng Maharlika ang bola, some pressure from Kaya results in the yellow shirts getting the ball back almost immediately. At di nakakapagpahinga ang depensa ng Maharlika because they're always under pressure, always under attack from Kaya.
Ball is taken quickly after someone falls down. Melisa tracks it down. Deflected on the rebound. Saved by Abraham.
Fitch Arboleda probably asking himself, kailan kaya ako makakascore because kanina pa ako tira dito. At Melisa, nauna lang yung bola sa kanya ng bahagya. And that ball was really set up for Arboleda. How many times have we seen the ball just bounce exactly to where he wanted to shoot it? Pero again, credit to Abraham with that great save.
Nevertheless, it's going to be a corner for Kaya FC-Iloilo. Let's see how they capitalize. 40 minutes have gone by. It is still Kaya FC 1 and Maharlika Manila FC 0. The header, that is it, the second goal. Kaya FC doubles their lead in the 41st minute, and it is Carlisle Mitchell.
He delivered the perfect response in his tussle with the opposing number ng Maharlika Manila. Carlisle Mitchell giving the best possible response with a good headed goal. Thumping header off of a good cross from Jan Melisa.
The perfect spot to be for Carlisle Mitchell as he doubles the advantage for Kaya FC Iloilo in the closing moments of the first half. We are just about 4 minutes plus added time.
At nakita mo nga, no, how the goal came about from that corner. Once again, corner taken short And the return ball for an in-swinging pass, just giving the Maharlika defense a little bit a different angle of the ball, different angle to defend. And one thing about Carnal Mitchell, you give him a chance, he will put it away.
Coach Jong Gil Kim actually said earlier that they opted for the 4-3-3 this afternoon instead of the 4-2-3-1, just to make sure there are more defenders against a squad. But now it seems that it's 4-4-1-1, at least from how the game has panned out so far.
It's SL in front, and David Basa just supporting him in front of two banks of four, as far as we can see, for Maharlika Manila. But so far, has not worked to their liking because dehado sila ng 2 goal.
And understandably, that's how much they respect the attacking of Kaya. Someone is down, but play on. Sizing up the defense. They will go inside and Abraham will collect. Ilang beses na rin tina-target itong si Daizo Horikoshi. So it's just give and take for them. Sometimes he's the one distributing. Sometimes he's being the target to convert. And again, a long ball going out, nowhere for Maharlika Manila FC.
Well, easily collected there by Zach Panson. He will take that ball all game long. Again, Maharlika not using the ball very well.
The lob inside the box. Flag has been raised. That was close. But nevertheless, offside call for Gayoso. He disagrees, obviously.
Yan ang sinasabi natin, if looks can kill. Sabi ni Harvey, sir, hindi naman po ito offside. Of course, the referee will have the final say. And you can see that the lightning quick transition from defending to attack by Kaya, and just millimeters of distance lang separating Harvey Gayoso and his second goal for today.
That was a testy moment for Maharlika Manila FC. They were very fortunate that the offside was called. We saw it on the replay. Medyo lumampas lang siya ng bahagya kay Michael Menzi. Mitchell will send it to Daizo. And look at the connection here again. Flag was raised.
And every time Maharlika have the ball, tama ka, no, Levi, they just seem to want to hoof the ball to the front two, essentially, and bypass the midfield. Whether this is because they're not very confident with the technical ability ng kanilang midfield, or whether they believe that playing the ball in midfield will result in the ball nawawala kagad sa kanila. Whatever the case may be, diretso kagad sa final third yung bola.
That is going to be one of the talking points in their halftime huddle. As again, immediately they lose control. Bidik will send it to Gayoso. Great control by Gayoso to Melisa.
Did you see the touch by Harvey Gayoso just to set him up and deliver that pinpoint cross to Janjan Melisa? Janjan Melisa will be a bit disappointed. Sabi niya, sayang yun, no? It was parang silver platter na yung bola para sa akin.
Absolutely. He was just probably half a step behind for a quality strike. Only 1 minute of added time here, as of course not much stoppages in the first half. Arthur, probably the last play for Kaya FC. They will send it over to Kekkonen. Arboleda is making the run, still with him.
Such a joy to watch Kaya in this flow. Ang ganda namang pasahan nila. And even if the goal wasn't there, I'm sure Coach Yu Ushida will be pleased with what he saw in the first half.
And that will signal the end of the first half. Kaya FC Iloilo builds a 2-0 lead against Maharlika Manila FC. Goals courtesy of Harvey Gayoso and Carlisle Mitchell.
We expected Maharlika to play very deep, but they took the game to Kaya early on. Kaya, of course, showing their quality, taking a lot of possession in the first half. Rain, of course, falling in the Rizal Memorial. Small rain. Kaya medyo madulas ng konti yung bola. And that will prove to be Maharlika's undoing, because that time around, Abraham unable to keep a hold of the ball, and Harvey Gayoso in the 13th minute making no mistake from that range.
That was the opening goal of the match. Harvey Gayoso off the rebound. Again, unable to secure the ball was the keeper, Zaldi Abraham, and that leads to quite an easy goal for Harvey Gayoso.
From then on, it was almost all Kaya FC. Not for the efforts of the number one, si Abraham, I think it would have been more. Maraming highlights for Maharlika, but this is all from their goalkeeper.
And from there, it was really just Kaya FC realizing how they can capitalize.
Free header from Maharlika, one of the rare moments na matake sila. And he would be disappointed not to test Zach Banzon that time around.
Of the corner, the lone corner kick that they've earned in this match.
Dick there trying to set up his teammates, and one of the sidelights na nakita natin sa larong ito, a tussle between Carlisle Mitchell and the number 7 ng Maharlika na si Kwame SL.
And towards the latter part of that first half, obviously the set up doon sa kanilang mga atake, just threw balls to the box. It's a matter of how they were trying to convert.
And anytime your goalkeeper has more touches than some of your outfield players, is going to be a problem para sa Maharlika Manila. And this one, unstoppable header from Carlisle Mitchell. Again, good work from the corner, just giving the defense a different view to defend. Jan Miliza with cross. Carlisle Mitchell making no mistake for Kaya's second goal.
Miliza assisting beautifully on that Carlisle Mitchell header. That concluded the first half, but obviously not before some close calls, just like that which you saw on the Facebook Live.
Si Pitch Arboleda, again, a busy man on the right wing, but still 2-0 para sa Kaya FC.
We will have the second half between Kaya FC Iloilo and Maharlika Manila FC as part of your Philippines Football League 2022, brought to you by Qatar Airways, when we return.
And once again, we see a variation dun sa corner kick taking ng Kaya. Ito sinasabi natin, just keeping the defense on their toes.
Once again, for those who are just joining us, welcome back here from the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Coming to you live from the Philippines Football League Facebook page. It is Kaya FC-Iloilo 2, Maharlika Manila FC 0. Second half action. And again, it is Kaya FC-Iloilo. So far, so good. And on pace to win 4 in a row.
Of course, there is still a lot of football left to be played, Levi, but so far, they're happy with the scoreline, 2-0. Of course, they scored their 2 goals, and then they've kept a clean sheet so far.
They were barely threatened in that first half, save for perhaps that lone corner kick earned by Maharlika Manila FC, but was not converted. And now a rare chance, but Villaflor throws it away. Oh, they will track it back down. Basa, a hard challenge. And Gayoso one-on-one against the keeper. Baguio does enough.
Once again, it's Harvey Gayoso flaunting his speed. And that time around, seeing his teammate from the corner of his eye. But unselfish play from Gayoso. Others would have shot direct on target that time around.
He had 2 options, really, that time around to just go one-on-one with the keeper, but he saw Melissa and decided to pass at the last moment. Corner kick. Not the finest of touches here, but tracked down by Daizo once again, targeting Mitchell. And Ambong was there, but a corner from the opposite side earned once again by Kaya FC.
Consecutive corners from Kaya. At alam natin kung sino tina-target nila. It's Marco Casambre and Carlisle Mitchell. 2 tall guys for the yellow shirts.
Obviously, this is where that size advantage comes into play. Rota, but it goes wide.
Yet another chance for Kaya. If you look at the number of possession, the percentage possession, it's total dominance para sa Kaya. And it reflects in a way sa scoreline. But kung ikaw ang Kaya, you really want to add more sa yung goal tally. Not just to add for goal difference, but also just to keep this result beyond doubt.
Spencer Galaza and looks like it's Bienvenido Villaflor, the third, will be coming off the pitch. 2 substitutions made by Maharlika Manila FC.
Substitution for Maharlika
So Frank Isaac Baring and Boris Mudang Akhung now part of the 11 on the field for the men in black.
Well, Michael Sims, he was a very hard worker in the first half. Unable to connect lang sa kanyang kakampi. Ito si Boris Mudang Akong gave a good account of himself in the last game ng Maharlika kontra sa ADT.
And Boris, usually the designated captain for Maharlika Manila FC. This is just a change of scenery. He went from the bench and now part of the action.
And one sub that Maharlika also made was OJ Clarino here with the ball. It's coming on.
So OJ, or MJ Clarino rather, wearing jersey number 9. 3 substitutions for Maharlika Manila FC. We're allowed up to 5, so they're making the most out of the opportunity.
For si Clarino, he again also made a good impression in the last game against ADT. Napakasipag niya that time around.
There's a second opportunity for Maharlika Manila FC, and it is Earl Japet Pinheiro, but his shot from far away goes above the crossbar.
Well, merong tatlong fresh legs. Sets of fresh legs for Maharlika Manila. Just to try to keep pace with Kaya. And a goal for Maharlika will completely change the dynamic of this game. 2-2 lang ang kalamangan ng Kaya.
But now they are on the offensive. Good thing Michael Menzie was there. Arthur will reset for Kaya FC. But now it's with Baguio. Ito na, so far in the second half, at least from what we're seeing, more possessions for Maharlika Manila FC. Although this time around, that was flicked by Daizo Horikoshi. No one making the run from his left.
But you can see the quick combination play from Kaya. Quick ball from Melisa. Good layoff. Si Daizo, I think he was trying to go for goal. Or was he trying to pass to Eric Giganto?
Eric Giganto immediately knew it. Realizing that, oh, I should have made quite some run there for the connection.
Ang ganda ng pasahan, no? Ng quick balls. Yung understanding ng bawat isa. Talking about Kaya FC is something that a neutral fan is going to be in awe.
So Michael Sims, the former UP Fighting Maroon, has gone off the pitch. Menzie and Banzon collects. More activity for Zach Banzon in the second half so far. He has caught 2. Oh, and a bit of an error there. Kwame Esel trying to make Banzon pay. He thought yun na yun, and that Maharlika Manila FC will just go back to their defensive scheme. Andun pala sa likod.
Yan ang tinatawag na knockout play. And again, that was a golden chance for Maharlika Manila. But Zach Banzon, I think we will look back at that play and say, buti na lamang at hindi nakascore ang Maharlika. It would have made quite a meme. Not again in a good way for Zach Banzon.
It would have been, you know, a viral moment for Zach Banzon, but like what you said, not in the way you want to garner some fame. One of the rare opportunities for Maharlika Manila FC and sa kanilang attacking third, but from the throw-in, again, unable to string together several passes. Kekkonen keeps the possession alive for Kaya, and now it's Giganto. Daizo. Now to the middle, it's Arthur. They flick it inside. Daizo, and again, looks like he was targeting Goyozo, I believe, but not that time around.
Well, Maharlika Manila has been kept in the game almost single-handedly by their goalkeeper, na si Zaldi Abraham. That time around, making 2 crucial saves to keep the scoreline just 2-0.
But you have to appreciate Daizo's mindset as well. Whenever he's from a dangerous position, iniisip niya agad para kanino i-distribute yung bola. It's always that unselfish mindset for him.
Kaya nga siya ang leading assist maker dito sa liga natin so far in very early stages of the league with 3 assists. Si Daizo Horikoshi. And that doesn't look good for Maharlika kung ang kanilang goalkeeper who has really kept them in the game is suffering from a bout of cramps.
Talking about Jose Zaldi Abraham wearing the number 1 for Maharlika Manila FC. It's him and Yosuke Suzuki, the substitute shot stopper for Maharlika Manila FC. Again, Joaquin Valdez is not in uniform for the men in black. Some confusion that time around, and just like that again, Maharlika Manila FC
Well, I'd really love for Maharlika Manila just to keep hold of the possession for quite a bit longer. Kasi nakita natin, pagpasa ng bola, immediately their yellow shirts pressuring the man on the ball. And in this case, a long ball. Na diretso na naman sa kaya ang bola. Again, not even a single teammate touching the ball direct from the goal kick ni Abraham. It's got to be very disappointing for Maharlika Manila fans.
Giganto that time around looking for Melissa, but Maharlika FC was there. And now they will try to counter. They make a run from the left side. It's now with Galaza again. Or rather, that was Japet Pinheiro.
Si Pinheiro just opting for power, but that was a good sequence of play from Maharlika Manila, just leaving the ball to the on-rushing Pinheiro. Pinheiro, hinataw yung bola na yon when perhaps a bit more control was necessary.
And Boris Mudang Akong also doing a bit of misdirection there. Hindi niya hinawakan yung bola. He didn't really made contact doon sa bola. But now it's with Gayoso, with space, with room. And it is not the finest from Gayoso.
But Gayoso here making his run. At the corner of his eye, he again saw Janjan Melisa, but this time around trying to take that shot, and he'd be disappointed. Sabi niya siguro, he should have at least hit the shot on target.
Nevertheless, making Abraham again work, and it's been that kind of an afternoon. SL will try to track possession. Wonder if this is onside. It is. SL is defended by Rota. And again, the second shot in a span of probably a minute for Maharlika Manila FC, MJ Clarino. Too much power and angle of elevation.
Nakita mo yun, he was leaning a little bit back. Once he took that shot, the ball was going to go sailing over. But that is encouraging for Maharlika Manila. At least they're stringing a few passes together. At least they're trying to score.
Especially after a first half where it was really fruitless for them in terms of just how many opportunities they got. Collected again by Abraham was the flick by Janjan Melisa.
Good work on the left side from Eric Giganto. Snapshot from Melisa. That's good technique as well, keeping the ball low. And Abraham with a good save in the end.
But Kaya FC obviously not over with the pressing, with the attacking. Arthur. And now it's with Daiso again. They will send it to the right side so far. Melisa. Inside, there are now five black shirts trying to contest.
It's the 8th corner by our count for Kaya.
Eric Giganto, from the moment he was inserted into the match, making impact from obviously his position. And it looks like Kaya FC will send this one straight into the box. Now here is a counter attempt for Maharlika Manila FC. But look at how quick Melisa has dropped to defend SL against 3 yellow shirts. And play on a stop completed by Kaya FC as SL is still down. And finally, Daiso initially thought twice of fair playing the ball out, but finally he does.
This is going to be very interesting here. Was it a foul? Was it inside the box? The referee says no.
Substitution for Kaya FC-Iloilo.
Again, lightning quick from Maharlika Manila. And nakita mo how he almost eluded 3 defenders. Those are encouraging signs. Small steps, but encouraging for Maharlika Manila.
Not only for this match, but also the season moving forward. Just getting a glimpse of what else is there to come for Maharlika Manila FC. Obviously, some new names from the past season na hindi natin nakita, and it's going to be a work in progress for them, as we saw the entry of Arnel Amita for Kaya FC Iloilo, the third substitute for today.
Pinalitan niya si Patrick Arthur, the Kaya number 10.
Fair play back to Kaya, as Banzon, one of the few touches he has done the entire match so far. And sent to Giganto, the header. Not enough force.
Again, good sequence of play from Kaya. Melisa looking up and seeing the run of his teammate Giganto. Giganto, again, not the tallest of players, but a good timing on the ball. And Abraham has worked very hard today.
He is cramping up, and as you can see, two teammates now assisting, Michael Menzi and Job Ambong. And that is why binato niya na lang yung bola in the meantime to get some time off.
Well, this looks like the Maharlika second keeper on the bench is gonna make an appearance. Kanina pa siya nagwa-warm up. And let's see if Abraham can continue, because Abraham has really done well para sa Maharlika Manila, has kept his team in the game. And if not for him, the scoreline would easily have been at least 4-5 to Kaya.
And of course, only two active goalkeepers in the Maharlika Manila FC lineup. Yuzuke Suzuki is the substitute. And again, we are curious to know if he will make an appearance in this match. Again, Joaquin Valdez, the main keeper who essentially replaced Henry Bandekin from the last time out. Siya yung main keeper ng Maharlika Manila FC, and he is not in uniform today, which obviously put pressure to Zaldi Abraham. He has made a good account of himself.
Oh yeah, and he's really performed well today, kahit na sila idehado ng 2 goal. And that is not a good sight para sa mga fans ng Maharlika Manila. Nampangiti na lang si Abraham, no? Siguro sabi niya, pre, mukhang marami na akong ginagawang saves ngayon. Talagang sumasakit na rin ang binti ko.
That's at least 20 shots that he had to contest.
And we now see a substitution, Levi.
A couple of substitutions underway in just a short while. So there it is. Yusuke Suzuki will replace Zaldi Abraham. What an afternoon from him. Nothing to be ashamed of, conceding only 2 goals to a powerhouse squad like Kaya FC Iloilo.
And making a good account of himself itong si Zaldi Abraham. If not for him, again, mataas-taas na ang scoreline ng Kaya. And the pressure now on Yusuke Suzuki, yung kanyang kapalit.
And the last substitute for this afternoon for Maharlika Manila FC, it's Bensie Villanueva replacing David Basa. Bensie Villanueva, nag-viral to just a few weeks ago because of his bicycle kick attempt against United City FC. And since then, the super sub for Maharlika Manila FC has been working extremely hard to make impact for his squad. Amita struggling to keep control of the possession, but fortunately a foul whistled.
Quick footwork from the Kaya number 10. Eluding the defense.
Rota has come forward. Kekkonen. Here is Melisa trying to elude the defense of Mudang Akung. So better defending for Maharlika Manila FC. Ambong sends it to SL. Giganto finds Melisa with that familiar strike. Villanueva to Boris. And Maharlika Manila FC showing the poise here and finally getting something from final third to at least the midfield. And just as I say that, they are dispossessed. Chance here for Kaya FC-Iloilo. Amita. Perhaps better decision making that time for Kaya FC-Iloilo. Villanueva, not enough support there. Kaya will get the ball back. Kekkonen. Melisa sends it back to Kekkonen. It's a touch passing so far for Kaya FC. SL making the fine defending opportunity that time. And now it's with Boris, but, or rather that was Frank Isaac Baring. Might have gotten too excited.
First touch a bit heavy. Ball running away from him. It's very open here. Open game here, Levi.
As we are approaching the 70th minute of the match, only 20 plus minutes as Kaya continues to operate. That just ricochets off the goalpost. Daizo Horikoshi.
With acres of space, Horikoshi with his left foot, medyo ginaid na lang niya yung bola, not even going for power anymore, not needed there. But tumama lang sa poste, and that his love affair with the goalpost actually starting from last week pa, because he was able to hit the left and the right side of the goalpost last week. This time around hitting the left side of the post.
Missed opportunity for Kaya FC, and you were right, there was not much defending that time. Too much space given up to operate just from above the box. To Mitchell, and that is wide.
Thumping header from the center back ng Kaya. And Daizo once again with a good delivery. Siyempre hinahanap nila ang kanilang center back, the big, tall, and strong na si Mitchell. That time around unable to hit the target.
Baring also a factor that time, doing just enough to bother. Banzon will send it over to Daizo, who is bothered by Clarino, and now it suddenly ends up, nutmeg, and a chance for Maharlika Manila FC, and Banzon right there.
Well, men down for Kaya and for Maharlika. That was a great chance for Isaac Kwame SL. One-on-one with the keeper. Yung final touch na yun, just a little bit too strong. And Carlisle Mitchell just doing enough to put off yung atake ni SL, and Zach Banson as well there to the rescue.
And from that angle, it seems Banzon and Mitchell got entangled. I think Banzon knows it, and he's kind of apologetic to Mitchell about it.
Part ng game yan because they really wanted, of course, first and foremost to prevent that goal. Mitchell diving in, sliding in, preventing the goal. Yung touch lang talaga ni SL. Just letting him down in that very final moment.
And from another angle, we saw Mitchell, medyo delayed na rin yung reaction niya after making that slide. And then suddenly he felt something was off, and then you know the pain was there.
Carlisle Mitchell scoring a goal in the 41st minute and is now subbed off. Putting on good shift itong si Carlisle Mitchell. Good performance and always a threat in the set pieces para sa Kaya FC-Iloilo.
A productive afternoon for Carlisle Mitchell, delivering the second goal for Kaya FC-Iloilo back in the first half. But now it's going to be Mar Vincent Diano taking his place and hoping to, of course, keep the defense solid for Kaya.
Talk about the Kaya FC-Iloilo squad and the depth that they have. Maganda yung kanilang mix, no, of veterans. Nandiyan na si Bidik, nandiyan na sila Rota, and the youth movement. At isa na dyan, ito may hawak ng bola ngayon na si Mar Diano. And of course, Harvey Gayoso as well. And Kekkonen.
Belisa finds Gayoso. Flag was raised. That was pretty obvious.
Well, after scoring 2 goals in the first half, Kaya FC looking for their third. At di pa nila makuha yon with maybe less than 16 minutes left to play.
No complaints that time from Gayoso as well. Sa kanyang facial expression. Esel to Baring. Trying to go one-on-one with Arboleda. And too many yellow shirts that time. Hindi na nakita ni Baring from his peripheral. Kekkonen. And now finally to, this is Casambre. You have to appreciate the poise and the calm of Kaya FC as a sliding tackle from Job Ambong. Giganto. Good misdirection on the part of Kaya FC. Maharlika Manila FC fortunately able to recover at the last moment. SL is down and shaken up.
Well, the Maharlika Manila coach is furious. Sabi niya, handball ang dapat tinawag ng referee in that last piece of action.
Rota. Almost all of the Kaya guys have gotten up, and that will lead to a counter-attack here. SL taking the matters into his own hands, and obviously a frustrating attempt that time.
Well, medyo may kalayuan yun. It would really take a special effort for that shot to go in. Sabi ng coach ng Maharlika, that's the bottom of your screens, is imploring his player na mag-antay sana ng kakampi. But it's easier said than done when you've seen some sense of daylight after hours of darkness, Levi.
That's the dilemma usually, and that is offside, obviously. That is the dilemma for Maharlika Manila FC. They have not gotten that many chances, and whenever they get one, it seems that they're rushing too much, and that's something they have to balance out moving forward.
Medyo nanggigigil ng konti minsan pag nakakuha ng tsansa.
Giganto, a dangerous spot for Kaya, but the black shirts were there. Boris will give it, but oh, look at that. And that wasn't even pressure, and obviously Ambong apologizes for not being able to take control of that pass. We are winding down in this match. Still a 2-0 lead for Kaya FC Iloilo. We have 2 matches this afternoon in the Philippines Football League. Stallion Laguna FC and Dynamic Herb Cebu FC, they have kicked off already at the Binyan Football Stadium.
Tenth corner for Kaya. And that one, Daiso Horikoshi trying to curl it to the far post.
That was actually good English from Daiso Horikoshi, just too much power as it obviously goes above.
Itong second half natin, Levi, giving us end-to-end action. Lot of chances from both teams where yung players ay like open.
Gayoso against Bensie, and that will be the 3rd goal for Kaya FC Iloilo. Harvey Gayoso picks a brace in the 79th minute, and it is now 3-0 for the hosts.
A well-deserved 3rd goal for Kaya and a well-deserved 2nd goal for this man here, Harvey Gayoso. He's worked very hard all game long. And that time making no mistake is the Kaya number 18.
Slotting it in against, obviously, Yosuke Suzuki, who has replaced the very hard-working Zaldi Abraham. You were just about to say that this second half, you've got to be proud of your Maharlika Manila FC because it's 0-0 in the second half. And then suddenly, Harvey Gayoso says, nope, not today. Daiso keeps it alive, and it's now with Gayoso against Menzi. Gayoso again!
Very hard-working from Daiso. And hinataw na lang din yun ni Gayoso. Good deflection as well, good defense. But only as far as another corner for Kaya.
You have to complete the possession change. You have to complete the stop. And now this time, they wave off. Eliza, the header! Just like that! In a span of just a minute, it is Harvey Gayoso once again from the corner by Janjan Meliza.
Excellent delivery from Janjan Meliza. And Gayoso rising the highest to complete his hat-trick. Late in the game for Kaya.
Kaya FC Iloilo 4, Maharlika Manila FC 0, as Harvey Gayoso makes it a hat-trick in this afternoon.
And it's a very well-deserved hat-trick as well from Gayoso. He's worked very hard and has gotten his reward.
Zach Banson, no problem that time around, as MJ Clarino tried to obviously rush to that ball. That second goal by Harvey Gayoso was a matter of decision making, and good for him to be more offensive minded. Sometimes kasi you overpass and be too much unselfish. You deserve to get that goal as well.
Sabi nga ng marami, the strikers have to have some sort of tunnel vision. Yung nakita mo lang yung goal, the end in sight. And that was what Harvey Gayoso showed. Ruthlessness as well in front of goal. Importante para sa isang striker. And in a very long season, this will serve him in good stead. Because nababanggit natin, mahabang season to. Each team will play 24 games. Each team will face each other 4 times in a 4-round robin setup.
Of course, we have 7 clubs competing in this season. 24 matches total for each. That is the league format, and obviously only one club will come out on top. 83rd minute of action here. We are winding down. Kaya still relentless. Melisa now. What will he do? Good defending by Maharlika Manila FC. But again, another opportunity here. Here's the touch pass. A deep run. I think, Ryan, the mere fact they're getting that deep also is a problem if you're Maharlika Manila FC.
Amita using his trickery, using his speed at the layoff from Daizo Horikoshi. Alam mo, isang factor din siguro, no? Maharlika Manila, the fatigue may be settling in because you've been defending for the better part of 83 minutes, Levi. At hindi rin biro yun. That takes a lot out of your stamina. And at this point in time na medyo dehado ka ng 4 na goal and you know the game is really lost for Maharlika Manila, sometimes you just lose that little bit of half step. At nakikita natin yan in the ruthlessness as well ng Kaya FC. They want more. They've got their clean sheet so far and they want to add on to their goal differential.
And it's very difficult, as you can see. Harvey Gayoso, Michael Menzie doing enough. And great show of sportsmanship from Gayoso, realizing that Menzie has suffered from cramps, also assisting. But it's very difficult for Maharlika Manila FC as well to decide from a defender's perspective if you're going to fall back and surrender the space or come forward. Pero pag mabilis yung striker, may iwanan ka. So there's also a dilemma, especially when they're in the attacking third and pouncing on the opportunity like that.
Well, it's 84 minutes gone and si Harvey Gayoso seemed not to have lost any pace sa kanyang speed. And of course, it's gonna be a problem kung depensa.
That's where the youth factor comes in for Gayoso, obviously the former King Eagle. Making the leap to Kaya FC-Iloilo after obviously being part of the Ascal's development team. It is cleared by Baguio, perhaps one of the positive points for Maharlika Manila FC as well. And look at the size disparity, Baguio against some of the other Kaya players, but just giving it all out as a defender.
Monting sidelines sa larong ito. The Menzie brothers playing on the same pitch on opposite ends. Of course, si Michael Menzie para sa Maharlika and Odi Menzie for Kaya. Madali mo silang mahanap because they're both wearing jersey number 44.
The Menzie brothers, this will obviously be a great moment for them, for their family, just sharing the field right now after, of course, Odi Menzie was inserted. And Kaya FC still not done playing it out the entire way. And Giganto sends it outside to the bleachers area.
Eric Giganto scored the magnificent goal last week. Has 2 goals so far in the league campaign. Maganda para sa Kaya. They now have 6 different goal scorers. And they look to top the league, continue to top the league with 4 wins out of 4 for perfect start para sa kanila.
An impending victory here as we see a run here being made by Maharlika Manila FC, but to no avail. It's going to be 12 points in just a few moments for Kaya FC-Iloilo. 4-0-0 will be their eventual record here.
Clarino making the run on the left side.
It's a difficult angle to pass or at least get a decent attempt.
That's a credit to the good defending na pinapakita ng Kaya, not allowing the forwards ng Maharlika that time and space.
And this also gives us the opportunity to just, of course, inform you of what's happening around the national football scene. The Philippine Football Federation U19 national group stage. We just saw Cagayan, Misamis Oriental, the Regional Football Association, and Central Visayas FA being promoted to the first division. It's Cagayan, Misamis Oriental winning the Vismin national group stage, and they will now be joining teams like Stallion and United City in the first division, the top tier of the U19, the PFF Youth National Championship.
Congratulations to both these teams. And our friends from the PFF are there in Zamboanga. Shout out, of course, to Coco Torre and si Ico de Guzman, who are there in Zamboanga right now.
The header of the 12th corner from Kaya FC. It just goes wide.
Again, the set piece threat from Kaya. But this time unable to find the connection with the goal.
And at this point, Maharlika Manila FC's defense is just perplexed as to how to react after 4 goals have been scored by Kaya FC this afternoon.
Si Odi Menzi, I thought, may have let the Maharlika player onside.
Daizo determined to really convert something before the final whistle.
Well, I gotta give it to the number 20 ng Kaya na si Daizo Horikoshi. The game has long been won, but he's still running hard. He's still trying to find and create chances.
And that's what you want from your team, the winning mentality. You understand that this match, this win, eventually is just a part of the long road towards that elusive league title.
Alam natin, we have been witness to many league heartbreak para sa Kaya.
Additional time of 4 minutes.
And 4 minutes have been added. We have just gotten confirmation from the public address. 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, 4 more minutes para... Oh, that's a bad error there.
It is 2 against 1. A golden chance for Maharlika Manila FC. Can they steal one back? Wow! Unbelievable recovery by Odi Menzi. And it is still a clean sheet.
Napaluhod na lang ang players ng Maharlika, but this one, Levi, ito talagang inabot na sa Maharlika yung goal at di pa rin nila na-convert. Clarino, unable to give a strong enough pass to the on-rushing teammate na si Kwame Esel. And if there was a clearer chance, ito na yun.
Clear as day. And you saw from that replay also the separation, how many steps ahead they were. Both of them from Odi Menzi. And yet, Menzi was able to recover and disrupt the passing lane.
Well, almost a calamitous error from the new center back pairing. Sabihin ko nga sana, Jano and Menzi. And there's a coach of Maharlika Manila. Napaluhod na lang siya nung hindi na-score yung goal na yon because a really, really golden chance para sa Men in Black. At least man lang makasalba ng isang goal sa larong ito.
9 times out of 10, you have probably gotten something out of that. Probably a flick or a quick lob, and then a header, or just a short volley. And as it stands, it's still 4-0 with just probably 2 more minutes of stoppage time.
Well, Kaya will take this victory 4-0 for the moment. Pero, you know, Coach Yoshide will have looked at the last few minutes and will say that between the two center backs and Zach Banson, they have a lot of room for improvement pa rin.
As Clarino makes a chase for that ball, but there's just too much speed. The weather has improved here inside Rizal Memorial. Here's Daizo. Cazambre for a moment was trying to enter the box and be the recipient. So as we wrap up this match, some positive points for Maharlika Manila FC, especially in the added time. And their head coach, Jeong-gil Kim, seems to be in a good mood as well. SL. Still time for one more. Here's the cross. Oh, there it is! There it is! Maharlika Manila FC. They will take one back. It's Mario Javier Clarino.
Good work from SL. He's a strong, and that was an excellent cross from the right side. Clarino, making no mistake. Alam mo, SL and Clarino making up for their missed chance early, just a few minutes earlier. Clarino with an emphatic finish, and I think that is a goal also that Manila at least deserve to end this game.
This is something that obviously they will take to the upcoming matches, just in terms of the momentum, in terms of that mindset that they can compete with anyone in the league. MJ Clarino salvaging a goal here for Maharlika Manila FC. Only the second from the club in the 4 matches that they have played. And that is the final whistle. It is now official. Kaya FC Iloilo 4, Maharlika Manila FC 1.
2 goals in each half for Kaya FC. Seal the full 3 points. They're top of the league. But for Maharlika Manila, alam mo, they've been really pummeled in this game. But they can come out with heads held high. They fought, and they were rewarded with a goal in the end.
That was an absolutely better second half for Maharlika Manila FC. Again, this match started with this goal off the rebound. Harvey Gayoso, the first of 3 goals for him.
Wet conditions in Rizal Memorial means that the ball medyo may kadulasan ng konti, and the keeper unable to hold on to that ball. Harvey Gayoso quickest to pounce.
After a few minutes, the lead was doubled, and it was Carlisle Mitchell at the right place at the right time, a header. And then in the second half, Kaya would just continue to pounce on the opportunities.
Were not for the goalkeeper, Zeldy Abraham, the scoreline would have been bigger at this point in time. And some decision-making issues for Gayoso means that the score was still 2-0. They were not done yet, Kaya FC.
And Zach Banzon, sadly no clean sheet for him, but again, Maharlika Manila FC, you have to give it to them, an absolutely better second half, to say the least.
Well, they've held their own in the second half, and once you saw that Kaya FC continue to try to score, and Maharlika Manila, you will feel that parang medyo they've thrown in the towel. Kaya, unrelenting in their pursuit of their first league title.
They have to play the entire match, as Eric impact today as a substitute.
Gotta credit as well si Janjan Meliza. Has been a live wire on the field for 90 minutes. Napakarami niya mga chances na ginawa. And of course, this man here, Daizo Horikoshi, tireless till the end.
Daizo and Meliza, obviously, the two names that have made it super confusing for the Maharlika Manila FC defense.
Daizo, number 20. Napakasipag and always trying to create that chances. But on the other side, si Kwame Esel, number 7, has worked really hard. Many times just going alone up top.
And obviously, Kaya FC-Iloilo not satisfied with the 2-0 lead after one half. They added to that in the latter moments of the second half, starting with this one from Harvey Gayoso. At that time, gave him a brace and better decision making once he saw a sliver of opening.
Acknowledging the good pass from Arnel Amita, and Harvey Gayoso has used his speed to perfection in this game, but this time around he used his heading ability off of the corner. Kaya 4-0 and cruising.
Standing tall was Harvey Gayoso for that last goal, which gave him his hat trick for today. Without a doubt, the man of the match for Kaya FC-Iloilo. But again, towards that final few minutes of the second half, including the injury time, Maharlika Manila FC finally getting something positive and encouraging to take home with them after this match.
It was just the goalkeeper, not even the goalkeeper to beat. The goalkeeper was beaten, but poor pass from Clarino means that the goal was still 4-0 scoreline. But this time around, Clarino making no mistake.
And it was that combination, still, Kwame Esel and Clarino, redeeming themselves the possession after, just to make sure that Maharlika Manila FC gets something to take home. And that is the final scoreline. Once again, Kaya FC-Iloilo 4 and Maharlika Manila FC 1. This has been your live coverage of the Philippines Football League 2022, brought to you by Qatar Airways. We will see you at the games.